I'm late. You know why I'm late? Because I was watching Lawrence of Arabia, but I've never seen all the way through. Hi, movie fans. How are you? I get a email, like newsletter from a website called Beading Daily, and I'm ashamed to say that I usually ignore it, but there was a title that on this latest issue of the newsletter that caught my attention about cabochons. So I read the article and I went to the site and I looked at the technique, and it was something I never tried before, and I was amazed at how well it worked. It's a way to start a bezel. You actually get 4 rounds of a peyote bezel in one step, basically, in one step of stitches. This, I think, was developed by Jennifer Van Ben Schoten. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. Jen Van Ben Schoten. And it's a ladder. You start with a ladder stitch, and there's a couple rules. There wasn't really instruction on how to do this. It was basically a picture and a slight description. So I worked on it last night to figure out how this was done, because it was amazing. And I figured it out, and it totally works. And I'm real happy with it. I bezeled that cap I painted last week. I call it Wyatt's torch, because that's what it reminds me of. I'll probably take it apart, but I was just fooling around with it, and this is actually a double wide bezel, but I started it with, the first bezel was this ladder stitch. This one is the same thing, started with a ladder. This one I started with a ladder, but I screwed up the connection right there. So I'm going to show you how this works. Super easy. Shockingly easy. I really like Beading Daily, even though I don't read it every issue, because they don't lie to their readers, and they don't write about them with contempt, like another publication we're all familiar with. So to start this, oh, I forgot to get a needle with thread on it. You can use delicas or rounds. These are 11 rounds. And some 11 delicas to cinch in, or 15s. Size 11 delicas seem to work pretty good to cinch in. Size 11 rounds works pretty good. These are Tohos, so they're a little bit fatter. A little more heft to them. It's delicate, so let me get a needle. Okay, the way you start this is, like ladder stitch, pick up 2 beads, closer here. Alright, I've got 2 beads on my needle. Bring your beads down to the end of the thread. You can leave a longer tail if you'd like. And you want to put your needle up through the last bead in the thread, so it's coming up between the 2 beads. And then you want your beads to sit side by side like this, okay? Then I put it back up through the next bead next to the thread where it's coming out, and then back down. And this will kind of hold them in place as you're working the ladder. I was amazed how this worked. You end up getting a strip of 4 beads. Okay, now I got 2 beads next to each other like this. Get out of my way. Move down a little bit. Alright, can you see me? A little further, okay. going to pick up 2 beads, all right, and my thread is coming out of this bead closest to me. Remember that. And for brick, we're going to do brick stitch now. Put our needle through the thread bridge in between the 2 beads. So that they sit on top of the first 2. Remember, my thread was coming out here. If you can't remember, just pick them up and take a look. Oh yeah, it's on that side. So you want your needle to go, shoot, come on now. Where am I? Ugh. It's hard to start. All right, my thread was coming out of the side with the tail. I remember that. So you're going to put your needle up through the opposite side, okay? I'm going to do this several times. Pick up 2 beads through the thread bridge. See, my thread is coming out the bead closest to me. Through the thread bridge in between. Get them so they lay with the holes facing up. And then up, because the thread was coming out this side, we're going to put our needle through the opposite side. Whoops. I guess I didn't have it through the bridge that well. Holes up, needle up through the opposite bead that the thread is coming out of in the previous row. And it starts to, well, you can't really tell yet. Do a couple more. Pick up 2. Thread's coming out of the bead furthest from me through the thread bridge. Tangle. Stuck. Make sure the holes are facing up. Come on, holes. Oh, I should have used a bigger bead. Why are you doing this? Why? Oh my God! Stop! There. Which one was my thread coming out of? Oh. Thread coming out of this one, go back up through this one. And it starts to resemble a peyote pattern very quickly. Thread's coming out here. So I put my needle up through the opposite bead here. Two beads, threads coming out here through the bridge. Opposite bead. pull, you can definitely see the peyote pattern developing. So when you get it long enough to go around your cab, this is a little tiny one, make this a little bit longer, and then I'll show you what to do next. There. You can really see it now. You really see this pattern. So all you have to remember is to, when you add your next bead, next set of beads, is to come out, put your needle back up through the bead that opposite this bead is, this thread is coming out of. So 2 beads, my needle will go through this bead, and then the next time I'll go through this bead, and then this bead, and then this bead. So it's opposite. That's a lot harder to explain than I expected. When you get it to the length that will go around your cab, this, it won't, but pretend it is. Okay, I want to go around. You want to make sure that your ends will match, and what I mean by that is you want to make sure you have an up bead on one side and a down bead on the other, like I have here. Pull this a little more. So you can see up, down, down, up on the bottom. When you put them together, it'll match up, and you know, you'll have your correct pattern to continue on to make your bezel, which is real easy. The way I did this isn't long enough, but I have to get going here. When you're wanting to connect the 2 sides to put around your bezel, put around your cab, I mean, what I did is I imagined, you know, the way it's supposed to look, and then I just drew my thread down one way and then back up this way so that it connected correctly. So my pattern was continuous around. Like this one, I probably just didn't see where I was going. Mess that up. I thought I could hide it, but no. No, couldn't hide it. Cinch it in with 15s. Set your cab down in there, okay? And then cinch in with 15s or reduce or however you want to do it. That's how I did these. This came out kind of cute. Kind of nice. Added the black chain. Wyatt's torch is a political statement. Big time. There probably isn't anything out there that isn't a political statement in some way. Even if it's subconscious. So, that's all. I gotta get going. I got a lot to do. I'm sorry this is short. If I have time, I'll come back and finish so you can see more of what I'm saying. But for right now, I gotta go. Bye. Okay, I'm back. And like I was saying this more, it's not possible to make political statements without also proclaiming your ethics. It is not possible to separate politics from ethics. Just not possible. Okay. See how it goes around? Just like this. I've got a down bead here and an up bead there and a down bead there and an up bead there. And so the way I did this is I put the two ends together. Tried to anyway. This tail I am not going to use, so let me get rid of it. It drives me wild. And my thread, let me do it this way. So I got the two ends here, my thread's here, so I'm going to put my needle through the next bead that it would kind of sort of come out of, and then up through the next one. Then I would go down through the next set of beads like this. I'm going to go across to the other side. Eventually. Right here, and then down through these two like this. I'm going to pull, and everything's going to come together real nice so I can continue weaving, make my way up to an edge so I can start adding my delicates here, or 15s. They would work fine too. Pull, pull, pull. Keep everything nice and together. And you can see your pattern is, you know, right there for you. And you've already got 4 rows just waiting on you. So close it up. And when I close it up with these delicates and get rid of this damn knot, god damn it, shit. I'll be back. Everything's coming apart. I had to make that whole thing over again. That's what happens when you try to bead far away from yourself. Anyway, I got it closed in with 2 rounds of this bronze color. And then I added 1 more because this bead, this cab appears a little bit smaller than the other one. So I had to add 1 more bead every other to close it in some more. So fit it in like that. And I worked my thread down to the other side so I can close it in. And that is it. It is It is crazy easy. If only everything in life were this simple and this much fun to do, life would be so much better. Be really, really cool. So I'll probably add 2 rounds of this bronze color, like this one. Close it in like that, and you're done. And you've got your open back cabochon. I don't really make a whole lot of open bezels like this because I just don't use them that much. I'd rather do bead embroidery, but hey, one more thing in my little arsenal of knowledge never hurts. So that's it. You're watching the Oscars tonight. I am. Awesome. Have a great week. We're supposed to get a effing snowstorm on Tuesday. Ugh. Ugh. I'm so over it. I hate Michigan so much. Yuck. I'm gonna move to Texas. I'll see you later. Your life is yours. You own what you know. Bye.